Well, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on the 7-day free challenge of holistic super health reset. Again, Happy New Year. It is still winter. We are just very early into the new year at this time. So this is a great way to kickstart getting back to a holistic health and focusing on body, mind, spirit, and emotion. So we're on day 3 and I'm excited to have you guys here. Thank you so much for joining me and, wanting to take your health and wellness to the next level, because what we're going to be talking about today is our doshas. And when I discovered Ayurveda over 20 years ago, there's something very powerful about what I love about Ayurveda is they call it the art and balance of life, the art of life. And I've always loved that. It's a 5,000-year-old way of living, a way of having a very powerful life, because Ayurveda teaches that we are one with nature, and that food is medicine. And I know that's something that we've always taught over the years, but the way they teach it, the way they take such care with their oils and then breaking down what dosha, what pacifies your body, almost like treating us like a child. It really helps to encourage the reparenting. As you get older and as we mature, we wake up, we realize that it's our responsibility to take care of our inner child. And I've always loved how Ayurveda is just super nourishing to the nervous system. And I remember before Ayurveda, I know we were talking about this yesterday, when our bodies aren't getting the right kind of protein or fat or essential nutrients that we need, it craves things to get rapid energy, to activate the fight or flight, if you will. Usually it's caffeine or it's sugar, muffins, things like that. They're going to give us a quick hit of energy. But with Ayurveda, they teach you to pacify your body with food and eat the exact right foods that is best for your body type. So your nervous system starts to nourish itself. And I remember when I started eating right for my body type, I'm a VATA predominantly, because we are, like I said, we are usually a bit of everyone. I may have 1% of kapha, and maybe a tiny bit, a little baby roll of fat, but I'm like, as they say, the Vata is the goat. Dry skin. So winter is my roughest seasons because it's Vata on top of Vata. So air on top of air, stacked on top of kidney, which is fear. So that's the unpacified. Pacified is love, right? Pacified skin that's nourished and treated well is warm and unctuous and deep and calm, right? So just think about all of those, things that get balanced when you do things the right way. So for me as a Vata, when I would start eating right, I could think better. I had crazy endometriosis cramps every month for years and years and years. And as soon as I started eating right, the cravings went away, the cramps went away, just more peace in the Vata mind, right? So this is the other thing to remember is, so like, for example, we were talking earlier about DK, are you a Pitta Kapha, we had asked, right? Because when you do the dosha test from Deepak Chopra, there's always one that we're dominant, but they always speak into the other, like you're Pitta Kapha, right? So you're predominantly Pitta, so a lot of fire, you can digest well, you have great elimination, you want to eat things like cucumbers and sometimes cooling things, whereas myself, predominantly Vata, a little bit of Pitta. So my heart is where the fire is. Vata, which is air, is my head and my digestion. So I have to work just to be, Vatas have to work a little extra harder to get into the body, to get deep into the body and the healing system. Whereas, maybe like a Pitta just functions a little bit differently and can really cool the system down by, in the summertime, for example, having something like a cucumber, right? So if you guys did the test, hopefully you did on the online test. So I'm just going to maybe just do a quick share with my screen here. or if you guys want to open up your mail, then you can see that the test on there, here, I'll do a screen share. Multitasking, so great. Isn't it amazing what we can do? I love technology, but I also hate it, right? The love-hate of the matrix. So this is, I'm in my email right now. This is the one that you got, day 2. That's the video about knowing your body type will change in your life, and then doing the quiz. So hopefully you guys, there's the video you can watch, and then you can just take that test. So you click on that link to get to the test, and we'll just go over that really quickly. But when you scroll down, you click on the link below to get your dosha rejuvenating diet for your body. So once you do the tests, then you see the foods that are best for you, right? So I'm just gonna go through that. We'll just do it. Let's just do it. Just to confirm, you guys can see my screen. That'd be cool. So I'm on the Deepak Chopra. So chopra.com dosha quiz. So find your dosha. Let's just go through this
we
together.
can see that.
Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see that.
Fantastic. So if you guys haven't done this, go ahead and do it with me. You can just keep your thing on pause and just go ahead and do the test, take the quiz. I've probably done this, a dozen times over the years. They've had this website up for years. This is one of the first tests that I've done. Discover your mind body type. Answer each question as objectively as possible, selecting the options that best describe yourself for most of your life, not necessarily in this moment. So that's a really good point. So, and a lot of times when people do tests, they project into the test the way they want to be, or going, oh, I don't like that about myself, I'm going to click this, but then you're not getting a true result, right? So if you're having a hard time doing so, try selecting the option that best describes someone similar to you. So that makes a lot of sense. If you developed an illness in childhood or as an adult, think of how things were for you before that illness. If more than one quality is applicable in each characteristic, choose the one that applies the most. So it's really important to look at that, like to really contemplate. So my natural frame can best be described as slight and narrow, average with good muscle tone, sturdy and strong. So I'm definitely going to pick the first one, slight and narrow. My lifelong tendency with weight has been I typically don't gain weight, or I have trouble keeping it on. That's for sure me. I'm going to click that. And then the second one, I can gain or lose weight easily, depending on what I focus on. That's very Pitta. So you can see how it's VATA, Pitta, Kapha, right? The last one is I tend to gain weight easily and can have difficulty losing it. That's your Kapha, right? Question number 3, most of my life, my body temperature has felt cold. My hands and feet are usually cold, and I prefer warm environments. Remember when I first started the class and then I took my jacket off? Yeah, because we got cold feet going on. It's winter time, right? And then the floor in this place, I've got like hardwood floors, and it's just very chilly. And as soon as you get cold on your feet, it's like your whole system just rushes with chill. Second one is warm. I am usually warm regardless of the seasons and prefer cool environments. Very Pitta, right? Heat in the head, heat in the heart, heat in the digestive system. The last one is comfortable. I am adaptable to most temperatures, right? So that's very much Kapha. So the fourth one, in general, my appetite is inconsistent. My hunger fluctuates and I tend to nibble or sometimes forget to eat. That's very much me, because some of my friends are always like, you're always so skinny. And I'm like, honey, you have no idea. Sometimes I just don't eat because I just, we're air Vata, we're go, 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 go. We are change. So Vata can be tricky on the nervous system. That's why when I discovered, I was just like, it's such a profound system, like I said, to go deep into the nervous system and really learn how to nurture your own body. So the second one is strong. I feel ravenous and can get irritable if I eat late. I don't like to skip meals. It's like my sister, she gets hangry, right? I think about her. Third one, steady. I tend to feel full for a while after meals and can comfortably delay eating if I need to. That one is interesting because this is something I want to share really quickly, is if you look at the relationships in your life. So I'm a Vata, and I'll tell you, this is so interesting. We're always looking for homeostasis. So if you can't create homeostasis in your life, you look for people outside of you to help you balance, right? That is a disintegrated way of doing things, because we want to be self-masterful and create balance and holism within ourselves. But when we're out of balance, for example, I I look back at my partners and my husband and my ex-husband, and I would always choose kaffas because I was crazy, all over the place, very hyperactive, ADHD, PTSD, anxiety, just frazzled all the time. My hair was like, I was just like cold and dry. So I would choose a mate to help balance me. But usually, which is very interesting, is that mate was pretty disintegrated like me because, and out of balance, and he needed me, right, to activate him. So he dragged me down and I made him crazy. So it's so interesting. And I remember when I was taking my Ayurvedic practitioner training, I brought that up, and the teacher was like, you know what? And I remember it. I remembered that so well because I always love studying relationships, because life is relationships, and you get to see why we attract certain things in our lives outside of us, because everything is a projection of who we are, and it reflects back to us. So I'll just never forget that. And then I know now, because you learn, right? Life is about living, learning, and, you know, loving, right? So we learn from our experiences, and that's how we gain wisdom. When I'm attracted to a kapha, you know, I'll be like recognizing that, okay, I'm a little out of balance right now. And then, like, I can even say that I had a friend in my life that came into my life, an old schoolmate, big kapha guy. But then when I got to meet him, got to know him a bit more, he was driving me insane because he was gluttonous and overate and just lethargic, and his energy actually ended up dragging me down. But I guess I just needed, you know, things, we attract things for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. He was just a reason for me. And when you start to really go through your life presently and seeing that we attract what we need, and we're projecting things, it is life-changing. So I saved myself a lot of stress, if you will, extra things I didn't need in my life. And I, you know, he's like, what's going on? And I said, you know, this relationship is stressing me out. I was just super honest. And, you know, it took a bit of time, but he eventually made his way out. But it was really profound, because I realized that, he was like me, eating something that was emotional, that I was trying to use as a comfort or a distraction. Hi, Teresa. Thanks for joining us, to bring me back into my body, but it was from a disintegrated way. So interesting, right? Thank you for muting, you guys. I really appreciate that. So yeah, we're just going over this Deepak Chopra. So go ahead, and if you haven't done that, click on the chopra.com dosha quiz. We're on question 5. So in general, my stamina over the day is mild. I tend to start strong with lots of energy, but lose steam. That's VATA, right? So that's me. I'm going to click that, because I know my body is super well. It's going to move this up here. And then the next one is average, but I can push myself with a mind over matter attitude when needed. Very PITTA, right? Steady pushing. That's red fire. We're going to make this stuff happen, right? The last one, enduring. I have great stamina, but don't typically like to test it. So that can be the kapha, where they're very easygoing, very grounded, very, you know, I have a girlfriend and she's just do-de-do, right? And like, I'm grounded. She grounds me, right? But then to a point, she triggers me, because I'm like, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. But she attracted me because she needs she always says, you're so energizing, you're so motivating. Yes, I need her and she needs me. But if she is disintegrated, if you will, like I said, it can be a bit of lethargic. When you have that kapha body, you can gain extra weight, you can have bloating, and you can kind of feel sleepy. You can attract certain things, you know, that you're trying to balance yourself out. So it's interesting to watch how you attract. So spend today looking at the things that you attract, or what your body attracts, to try and create balance outside of you, right? So number 6, my lifelong tendency with sleep has been, so 1, I'm a light sleeper and awaken easily. So I am going to click, I sleep soundly for shorter periods of time than most people. So this is for me, this is huge for until I was 27, because that's when Ayurveda came into my life. I had the worst sleeps. I had insomnia. I was so stressed out. My mind was the Vata mind. If you don't calm that mind down before you go to sleep, you won't sleep, and you'll get up. You'll be a light sleeper. You'll be caught off guard. Your nervous system will be jumpy. So when Ayurveda came into my life, and one of the big things that we do as a Vata is lots of oil, lots of fat, heavy, unctuous, deep, nourishing things for the nervous system. I eat so much fat now. I never used to eat a lot of eggs. I eat between 2 and 4 eggs a day. I did the vegan thing. Oh man, I didn't realize. So this is really important. Even if you're a Pitta or a Kapha, but you have a Vata digestive system, which is very airy, you're bloated, you're gassy, you're constipated, you ought to consider that you have to like really take care of your body so you can balance it out and address that thing. You may need a bit of more oil one day, right? You may need to have a few eggs to ground you, give you more fat. And do not listen to that thing about when people are scaring you with cholesterol on eggs. That is, anyway, the other thing you can do is, if you don't want to have eggs, is have like a fat. That's why hemp is so great. There's so much fat in it. So yeah, I couldn't sleep till I was 27 years old. And then I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm so grateful. So I am going to click the second one, which I know is Pitta, and then a lot of Kaphas. So the third one, I enjoy deep, long sleeps. Okay, so a lot of Kaphas, and I'm just thinking of my ex-partner. He just could sleep for hours and hours and hours. So, and it was so hard for him to get out of bed, where I was like, doing here, right? So just, it's great to get to know yourself on all these levels, right? And the people that we choose in our lives, the relationships. So 7, I prefer my daily routine to be flexible and spontaneous. I like to mix it up. Oh man, is that me? And it drives some people nuts, because I'm like the wind. If you're Vata like me, you're busy, you're getting things done, you're off the cuff, you fly, you flow. And I have a friend that's staying here with me right now, and he is Kapha. And he is always like, girl, you are on fire. And I excite him, but then he crashes around my energy, because it's a lot, right? If you're not used to it, or if you don't have that Vata in you. And the second one is, I prefer my daily routine to be goal-oriented and challenging. I enjoy long, productive days, very Pitta. Third one, predictable and steady. I'm good at keeping a routine, and I like structured days. So that's Kapha as well. So number 8, most of my life, I've made choices spontaneously and spur of the moment based on how I'm feeling at the time. So you seeing how this works? So I'm clicking that, very Vata. Yep, that's me. Second one, precisely and confidently after researching options. So this is, again, number 8 is most of my life. I've made choices precisely and confidently after researching options, very Pitta. And the last one is slowly, or am fine letting others make the choices. Very interesting. Number 9, overall, my temperature is enthusiastic, and I enjoy trying new things. Definitely I do a million things a year. Purposeful, I am goal-oriented, or easygoing. I like to go with the flow. So click whatever one is you. Number 10, usually when under stress, I become anxious and worried. Definitely me. Irritated and impatient. Yeah, very much so. Makes me think of my sister that when she gets triggered, she's like, rah, right? And then the last one is withdrawn and unmotivated. Okay, ready to find out what your dosha is? And then you add your email and then take you to your results. So I'll just go ahead and do that. And then you guys can follow along if you need at your page there, Samantha.com, and then take me to my results, and that'll email me. So Vata, right? See that? See how it hasn't changed, nothing over the years. Your mind body type, because that's how they look at the gut and the brain, right? The type, I'm a Vata 90%. This type is full of energy and creative. I'm 10% Pitta. So this type are sharp thinkers. Thank God I do have a Pitta in my mind. I don't have a lot of Pitta in my gut. So for example, if you're like me, and I know that we were, Victoria, you're saying that you are, so are you 100% Vata? Because I betcha So if you have problems with digestion or constipation, then you definitely are like me and you have more of a Vata gut. The Pitta mind helps with the sharpness and focus and getting things to happen. But if you don't, you may sometimes maybe you'll have kapha and you'll have a poor digestion or a sleepy mind. So it's super cool to learn. That's why I like doing this test the best. Because it gives you a deeper information about having a little bit of both, right? And you can look, I'm going to look up Pitta so you can learn more about that. So I have to create my own inner fire by taking hydrochloric acid. So that's because a lot of times that I'm an A blood type. So it's so powerful to know your body. Then I know, okay, I look up A blood types, and you can just take a little bit from this, a little bit from that. You don't have to live, 100% by everything. And just look up, oh, okay, that's why this is happening. And, oh, okay, that's why I don't eat a lot of red meat. I just don't. But if I used to crave around my menstrual cycle, I would crave a steak and I'd be like, I need a steak right now. And then I have my period the next day, right? So it's just so interesting. Sorry for the guys on the line here. Sorry, not sorry. So about your body, mind type. So all three doshas are present in everyone to some degree. So remember we talked about hemp being tridosha. So that is why I love, one of the major things when I fell in love with Ayurveda is they're like, everybody needs to eat hemp. And I'm like, that's how I feel too. Buddha couldn't have been wrong, right? One hemp seed a day. How they appear and what is proportion is what makes each person unique. Okay, so we're all the same. We all have, but there's everyone is a little bit unique, right? Usually one or two doshas predominant, dictating your tendencies in mind and body. The Vata dosha is predominant in your basic nature. Since Vata is the principle of movement and change, you will tend to always be on the go with an energetic and creative mind. As long as Vata is in balance, you'll be lively and enthusiastic with a lean body, right? So very true. If Vata becomes imbalanced, if your mind-body system, your activity will start to feel out of control. Man, oh man. Thank God for Ayurveda. I'll tell you, I actually had to go on medication at one point. I got goosebumps for ADHD. But because it was so out of control. I just didn't understand. I was young. I didn't know, right? I didn't know the knowledge. So I remember my diet. I would never drink water. I would always have lots of coffee, lots of sugar. Like I said before, Wonder Bar was my daily snack. I'd have 3 chocolate bars. And I remember when I lived in Vancouver, I would go to Whole Foods every day around 3 o'clock. So remember we talked about the body clock. So I am going to be covering that. And I would have a coffee and a muffin, right? So I'm just going to show you, we're going to cover the body clock with the doshas. And then I would be constipated. And then I would have to go and pay someone to help clean out my body. And then the cycle would go again. And so it's so interesting. So now that I went on medication for 1 year and it meant I got a goiter. And that's why I learned about iodine and why iodine is so important. So I hope you guys have done your test. So I've got my iodine. So remember we did that. So drop on that iodine and just watch between 4 and 10 hours and see if that sucker's gone. This is super powerful. And just, another quick thing is it's wintertime, it's air Vata, it's dry, it's aggravating to the kidneys. So like, for example, last night, my mind was going da 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 da. So I went and got some oil, and this is so powerful to do. If you have really dry, irritated skin, you want to put oil on your feet and your hands before you go to bed. Massage the bottom of your legs, right? So if you get cramps at night, spray your magnesium on there. Like we have that magnesium spray with lavender. It's really gorgeous. And then add that oil and just give yourself a 5. They call it dicharnya in Ayurveda. And we will be going over that in the next 2 days. But just self-soothing, self-love, and just taking that 10 minutes and massaging yourself, giving yourself a bit of oil. Maybe if your hair is really dry, I know that when I'm very Vata, my skin pinches on my head and it's just, So I can't use moisturizers that are water-based as a Vata. So I'm oil. I have a lot of, hemp oil or different types of oil that I use. I use ghee as well, which is something that is also tridosha and very hyperbalancing to every dosha. So I just rub it on and then I'll go to sleep, put a little towel on the pillow and you'll have such deep sleeps because you feel comfortable, you feel warm, it's soothing and it's nourishing to your nervous system. So give that a try if you guys are suffering, think dry elbows, dry hands, dry feet, dry hair, get that oil on your body. So as you learn more about the qualities of your dosha, you'll be able to recognize when an imbalance arises in your mind and body and take steps in your daily life to restore overall well-being. It's so true. So VATA characteristics: mind, creative, quick, imaginative; skin, dry. So that's a natural state of VATA. So for those of you that are VATA on here, one of the biggest things you can do in your day is have oil. And if you do suffer with candida, if you get yeast infections, or even if guys get itchy and things like that, I take like a nice healthy fish oil or an algae oil, and I'll put that in a half a cup of kefir. So kefir is something, if you have gut problems, if you have digestive problems, if you have dry skin and that, you can even like put the kefir on your skin and your hair. It's very, very warm and nourishing. Have your kefir with, I use 2 tablespoons. And I believe that's one of the reasons why I stay very thin, is because you're getting good fat and you're getting a good driver, that protein to pull it into your body, your skin, and you'll be able to feel it in your hair. I do notice, like, even, I think it was, it wasn't yet, it was the day before, I was very dry and my body's like, I need fat. So I probably had 5 tablespoons of ghee. But the thing I did wrong, I would say, is I ate crackers. Crackers are dry, not good. So if you're, I know for me, I was craving it as my body needed salt. So just get fat in your body. Great way, like I said, adding kefir with a good fat and drinking that. So it's a wonderful thing to do for your gut and for your skin. And then hair dry, body thin, light frame, right? That's the VATA. Appetite delicate, spontaneous, often miss meals. Yep, 100%. So when you get to know your natural state, this is just normal VATA. My skin is naturally dry, thinned. You know what I mean? Gotta work on those things, right? Routine is variable and spontaneous. Boo, 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 go, right? So that can be very VATA creating if I don't do it consciously. Temperature welcomes new temperament welcomes new experiences, excitable, friendly, and energetic. It's the biggest thing. Samantha, you're so exciting. You're always like, go. It's like, yeah, you can see me crash, honey. Because I'm not really a nap person. That's more of a kapha thing. Kapha's, my dad, when he was here for Christmas, he's like, I'm just gonna be back in about an hour. I'm like, okay, it's nap time. It'd be around just after lunch. And then I'd hear him snoring within 2 seconds and I would laugh. I'm like, you know what, God, I wish I had that skill to just have a nap. And then an hour later he'd get up and he's like, okay, let's go. What are we gonna do now? And here I am, like, I've been up since 5 o'clock. I've done 100 things. And I'm like, okay, Dad, let's go. He's like, let's go. Right. Because he wanted to match my energy. So he had to go and, check out for an hour in order for him to catch up to my speed. It's so fun to know yourself, right? Okay. Conversation style, loves to talk. So shopping style, buy. Well, I mean, I guess, I don't know about that. Stress response, what did I do wrong? Tendency to blame oneself. Wow. Interesting. So powerful. So get that test going, you guys. And then when you go back to your email, the one that I sent you guys yesterday. So this was the email. So watch the video where we covered all that if you haven't seen it. And then knowing your body type will change your life. Do the quiz, right? Then you're going to scroll down to the bottom of the email. And then this is what you're going to see. And you're going to be able to print off the recipe and the diet and things that you should go and buy. So this is your shopping list. And I take this and I tape it to the inside of my cupboard. So just a quick little thing here. Imbalance, excellent. agility, dry skin and hair, thin frame, creative, energetic, flexible, loving, exciting, loves new experiences. Out of balance, hypertension, constipation, weight loss, weakness, arthritis, prone to worry, insomnia, digestive challenges. Very cool. Wow. Click on VATA or whatever you are. If you're a PITTA, go to the next one. Kapha is down below it. And then you're going to see it. There we go. There's the page. Print off your VATA rejuvenating diet guide below. Eat right for your dosha, feel more grounded, experience more harmony. So this is called a pacifying diet. So pacifying, calming like a child. I love that. Eating the best food for your dosha. Once you start to eat right foods for your specific body type, the body starts to move towards calmness, more balance and harmony, a deeper connection to ourselves and our inner guidance. So true. Your body isn't in a state of fight or flight. Our bodies never lie. Our bodies are always talking to us, right? So when you get calm and in your nervous system and you're balanced and you're grounded, you can have a deeper connection to source through your body and your heart and your mind being in connection and getting divine intervention coming in and guiding you. Super powerful. It's life-changing. And feeling more balanced when your body begins to trust you more. This is huge. This is about building a deep relationship with yourself, body, mind, and spirit and emotion, right? So once your ego gets past letting go of foods that don't serve its constitution, a certain level of grace and flow begins to happen where you just feel supported by yourself, and you need less things outside of you to complete you, and you won't have hardly any codependent relationships. Then you become very powerful, like a warrior. You start to awaken from within. See how that works? Just by balancing your body, mind with the right foods and knowing your body type. That's why I said knowing your body type will change your life. I'm just saying. Number 3, holistic harmony when grace enters the space. Our bodies are sacred temples. Once we remember this, we begin to treat our body and mind with more care and self-love. This is the ultimate place to be, right? Download your VATA rejuvenating diet outline. So if you're a PITTA or a Kapha, just go ahead and download that. And here's the VATA rejuvenating diet. You can print that off. Without a proper diet, medicine is of no use. With proper diet, medicine is of no need. Love Ayurveda. Love it. In the first week, you may not feel better yet. So it takes time, right? In fact, you may feel some fatigue, transient digestive systems, or moodiness. I got to move this over. As impurities and waste begin to eliminate from your system, good food goes in, bad food comes out. Sometimes things will take more time because your body's like, oh my God, I need that. And your body's holding. So your body isn't releasing until you get to a certain point of things that you'll need to help you push that out. Remember that the body eliminates through the skin, through the urine, through sweat. So just lymphatics. So think about how your body is going to be releasing the dirt that has been compounding in your system, right? And what kind of dirt that is, right? So again, for me, as an example, VATA, constipation was my thing. So when I was, constipated, sometimes I wouldn't go to the bathroom as a kid for days and days. And I remember they used to have to put suppositories in me as a baby. I was constipated and full of candida and parasites at a very young age. So it's no wonder that I'm in this sort of industry. So wild. We always teach what we need, right? So just that's it's a big thing. Okay. So this is part of the normal healing process. Usually by the end of the second week, individuals begin to feel increased lightness, energy, clarity, and well-being. So give yourself time. That's why it's so great to have this stuff printed off, right? Because we forget, right? So if you have it printed off, you have it somewhere where you go, oh yeah, okay, I'm going through the change, right? Okay, my body's adjusting to this new way of eating. And then also remember we did having the meal planner, get that up. Have that out so you can okay, yeah, I didn't have my enzymes yesterday. I didn't have a very good bowel movement. This is such a powerful thing. It's just like your little boss, your little manager. Simple, right? Then you can learn how to manage yourself. And that's what we want, because we're not having codependent relationships and disrupting our own system. We can heal and manage ourselves from within, and tools, right? So general principles. For me, so eat warm, soft, unctuous, oily cooked foods. So remember again, it's VATA season, it is cold, and it is if for anyone right now, any dosha, you don't want to eat cold, raw, dry things whatsoever, because that, even if you're a kapha, that's going to mess up your digestive system, which is going to affect your brains. It's going to drive your gut and your head into being vata and worry, right? So dry. So keep warm soups, broths. You can do hot water with ghee and stir that up, add a pinch of salt, phenomenal. Even when I drink my kefir, so here's what I do in the morning: hot water and lemon. I bring my kefir out, and I'll let that sucker sit for over an hour on my counter with my oil, and I sometimes will add a bit of cinnamon in there, but not too much. Cinnamon's better for more kapha because it does help to burn fat, but it's also anti-parasitic. It's just a nice spice to have, right? And I'll leave that on my counter just to get room temperature. I don't eat anything cold. And people know this about me because I've been offered salads, and when my friend's here, he's pitta kapha, right? So he's fiery, he's hot, he's red, he's digestive, he's got fire in his belly. He's eating salads, and I'm like, he makes me a salad in a bowl. I'm like, if I ate that, I would not poop for 3 days, right? So I know my body so well. And then he's like, well, why don't you add just fatty salad dressing on there? Well, because it's still cold. Can't have cold, right? Cold on cold is massive irritation, right? Out of balance. So consider, more soups and broths and things like that. And I have steamed vegetables and things like that. I will show you. So I'm just going to take a little digression here, that I soak my mung beans. So mung beans are great. I soak them. I have them all year round. I have about 200 pounds of mung beans because they are just such a phenomenal food for you. So you want to sprout them. And then in the summertime, when my digestive system is good and I'm balanced and I got some fire in my belly and I can digest things, that's when I'll have my salads and I feel my body out, smoothies and things like that. I just won't have, nothing is ice cold ever. It can be cool in the summertime, right? Because you have that heat, but you want to soak these, and I cook them. I soak them for a day. So 8 hours, you soak your mung beans, rinse them, leave them in a jar sideways. I cover it with, you can take an elastic band, and you can take cheesecloth, and because if you have little flies, because I just noticed little flies around here the other day. I'm like, that's weird. This guy's been they're like balanced and still alive. They're kicking. And you have that on the side, and you'll see, so there's about 1/4 cup in here. You probably use a bigger jar, and those suckers will go like 50 times. So I will need to transfer this to a bigger container. And then within 3 days, you keep rinsing them every day, move them around. They don't need the sunlight. You just have them on your counter. And then you just keep those in your fridge. And when you're ready to eat them, you can put them in your stew, stir them in your soups. One of my simple things that I have is I take organic broth. Of course, everything we do is organic. I'm not even going to speak. You got to eat organic, you guys. So I will just make my broth, and then I will just put these in there and stir them in there, let them sit for a bit. And that is just one of my go-to things. I'll add a bit of ghee in there, a little bit of salt. So easy, warm, and you're getting really deep nutrients, right? So get your mung beans, get them organic, get bulk, excellent thing to have in your cupboard for, just, you can never go wrong with that. And then of course, stock it up with some hemp seeds, because those things are going to be fantastic for your body. And then that is something you can have all the time, right? So at least you're getting your greens in the wintertime. And then another thing is with the shape shift and the transcend, you're getting your greens in there as well, because a lot of times we just don't want to have vegetables. Right. But, yesterday I had eggs, I chopped up some onion, had some garlic, and I chopped up a zucchini, which is fantastic, right? Stir fry that, get your eggs in there, and you get your little bit of veggie, and, or even like kale or Swiss chard is lovely. Chop that up. You can even get spinach. Just don't have things that are cold. You want to saute your vegetables and make sure those are warm, right? So, general principles, again, just drink room temperature or hot beverages, right? Raw vegetable salads, avoid. Breakfast should consist of cooked cereal, cooked oatmeal, stewed fruits, or soaked fruits. I have to say, I never, ever, ever eat oatmeal. Constipates me like crazy. Even my mom, so it's something that she does not like either. But sometimes I will have So you take steel cut oats, organic, of course, so rinse them, soak them overnight in the fridge, and then bring them out. Actually, no, I used to not put it in the fridge. I'd keep it on my counter overnight, even though someone told me not to. I'm like, I just don't want to put it in the fridge because it has a cold energy to it. So, and then have that soak on your counter, and then rinse it. And then you can have steel cut oats. It takes 8 minutes to cook, and it's just a great way to have it broken down and soaked and ready to go. I'll do that rarely. I don't know, grains and things like that, oatmeal, just not my thing. But I like stewed fruits. I call it fruit soup. So I will take out my strawberries out of the freezer, which I got in the summertime. I got like cases of them and clean them and froze them. I'll bring those out overnight, let them thaw out. And then I'll put with warm water, I'll add a little bit of chia as a nice gelatinous, or flaxseed. It makes things gelatinous. Don't add a lot, and never, ever, ever have chia raw and on its own. Don't sprinkle it in your smoothies. You always, because it absorbs so much water that it will constipate you and mess up your bowels. Because I remember when I first got into the health industry, I'll tell you, man, they used to give out samples when chia seeds first came out. I'm going to say it was 12 years ago. I took a whole packet, and my gut for that health show was like a 4-day health show or something. It was just, oh my God. And then I had to go to the colon hydrotherapist. She's like, Samantha, don't ever, 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 ever do that again, because it was bad. So don't ever do that. But that's how you get your stewed fruits, right? Avoid cold drinks and frozen desserts. I don't eat ice cream, frozen yogurt, popsicles, but I was raised on those things. And no wonder I was constipated as a child, and just, avoid light, dry, crunchy foods. Well, interestingly enough, for me personally as a VATA, I'll crave chips when I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and stressed out, right? So I was talking to, who was I talking to yesterday? And she was eating a bag of chips because she was dealing with something stressful that was new to her. So she's like, I like these things. And she grabs her chips and she's eating them. I'm like, oh God, that's funny. So favor sweet, sour, and salty tastes. Yep, that's for sure. Yep. For me, one of my favorite little treats is I do Earl Grey tea. I love Earl Grey tea with stevia and lemon. I like that. That's nice. And then I sometimes will add a few strawberries in there to get that, like it's a soup and a tea in one. Minimize bitter, astringent, and spicy hot tastes. People know I don't like spicy foods. Bitter, astringent, very drying, right? So you don't want those. Very good if you're kapha. Yogurt, cheese, and sour cream should be eaten predominantly at lunchtime. So have your kefir before dark. One of the things they teach in Ayurveda is don't have any dairy ever in the evening. So when the sun goes down, no dairy. Creates way too much mucus and phlegm in the body. So favor the following foods: grains, legumes, vegetables, artichoke, beets, carrot, cucumber, all sauteed vegetables and things like that, right? Radish, sweet potato. I eat lots of sweet potatoes, tomato, but the sweet potatoes are probably not good for, let's say, kapha, because they can make you gain weight, right? Dairy, butter, first on the list, right? Cream. So I'm okay with boiled organic raw dairy that I boil. So sometimes when I am off, I will make a golden milk. So golden milk is using, I don't like to use almond milk or oat milk, because there always is thickening agents in there. And it's just full of a bunch of crap. It's pasteurized. Stay away from that. If you make your own almond milk and things like that, just make your stuff fresh. I don't recommend making those kind of milks. I think goat milk is incredible. If you're vegan, I guess you can use coconut, but if you look on ingredients of any coconut milk, there's always crap in there, you guys. You've got to start looking at your ingredients. It's just, you cannot find a coconut milk, even the organic stuff. It's guar gum and things like that. And I remember when I first got into the health industry, I was like, oh, I'm going to almond milk, and I'm going to have, the coconut milk and stuff like that. No, there was just it was just hurt my gut. I got gut cramps. So a lot of times these gluten-free or dairy-free things are more harmful to your body. And I know a lot of people that get problems from those type of foods, right? So really, this is why you want to go into your cupboards and really look at things that, like the ingredients and things, and start getting rid of stuff. This is where you're going to go through your cupboards and release things that aren't serving your particular dosha. Okay, you guys, there's going to be things that you've been eating for years, like I did. I'll just give you the example again. My Wonder Bars, right? I used to buy bags of, I'd love Halloween candy. Oh my God. I just don't eat sugar anymore. People, oh, you're always so skinny. You don't have any fat. Da, da, da. I don't eat sugar. Because when you feed your body properly, the cravings go away, right? Your body is producing its own glucose and insulin when you eat the right type of protein for your body, like hemp, which is incredible, right? So, just all these things to consider. So sweeteners, cane, date sugars, fructose, honey. I don't have any of that stuff. I love stevia. The one that I use isn't a powder or a dry, it's a liquid, and I muscle test it and it's fine for me. So that's another thing that happens when you become more balanced and more pacified and calm. You start to be able to listen to your own body. This is where you start to muscle test. And how you muscle test is easy. I'll just quickly show you. Broth that I got, this is something nice I wanted to share. I got, all these reishi mushrooms and chaga and things like that are in here. Organic maitake, garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, turmeric, celery seed. This is my girlfriend's product. So cool. Shiitake, kombu, sage. That's why it tastes like liquid stuffing. It's so good. That's a nice warm drink, right? So I know my body likes this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start this. I'm going to teach you guys how to muscle test. So you can't do it unless your body is balanced, but you're going to be standing up, right? Checking that you're balanced. You need to be hydrated. Am I hydrated? I feel, yep, my body moved forward. Am I hydrated? I am hydrated, right? So that's the question. Okay. My body wants this. Hold it in front of your body. Do you feel your body moving forward? My body wants this. Hells yeah, right? If your body doesn't want it, you will feel your body moving backwards. Or if there is an ingredient in here, that your body doesn't want or throws you out of balance, you'll go left or right. It'll bother your liver or it'll bother your spleen. So you think, then you become so hyper, you're like a compass to life. You become very, very powerful when your body is harmonized and in balance. You can muscle test certain people more by going, yeah, that person's energy, they're wanting to take my energy and it doesn't feel good. You just like, go over here, right? So you become very, very potent in your own body. Remember? So my body wants this. Yeah, we're good. What is something that my body doesn't want? I grab a bottle of bleach or something. All my food, I have mostly superfoods in my body, but if you have a bottle of bleach, even just thinking about bleach, my body goes very dry and going back. So muscle testing, super, super, super powerful. I will be going over that in the fifth or sixth class. And then looking at spices. If you guys don't have spices, just make sure you guys are getting organic spices. So remember, when you're going through your cupboards and cleaning out, spices and teas can, when they get old and you haven't used them for a long time and you're just keeping them and you keep keeping them, they can go moldy, they can go rancid. So you think, because there's natural oils that occur in everything. So if you've had, I remember my mom, we were just going through her cupboards and stuff. She had a cinnamon for like 10 years from Watkins. And I'm like, no. So look at your cupboards. It's time to purge old stuff. Just take some time to do that. Get the stuff out of your body and out of your life and out of your cupboards that just doesn't serve you anymore. Give yourself 1 to 2 weeks. Remember, they said it's going to take time to transition and really follow the Ayurvedic principles. It's very powerful. So spices, there's a beautiful tea that you can make that is tri-dosha. It has fennel, cumin, cardamom, ginger, and what's the other one? Clove or coriander. Yeah. So there's a tea that you make that is really, really, really nice for your digestive system. So that's a tridosha one. Okay, so for the last couple of minutes here on the, I have this wonderful thing to show you, which is taking it to the next level, which is so your screen is paused, so it won't, will it not show that? Okay, I don't think it's working, but I'll just stop share anyway. So yeah, look at this, so amazing, so powerful. There's the clock. Okay. So throughout the day, certain times are Pitta, Kapha, and Vata. How cool is that? So Pitta time is from 10 to 2, 10 a.m., 11, 12, 1 p.m., and 2 p.m., but also 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 12 a.m., okay? So 2 times of the day, right? Because there's 12, 24 hours in a day. So 2 times through the day, it's Pitta. And then from 2 to 6 is Vata. From 6 to 10 is Kapha. So in the 30-day program, we were teaching people, because we would start our classes at 8 o'clock. We were teaching people that especially if you're Kapha, but I know for Vata, all of us, if you get up after 6 o'clock in the morning, your body goes back into a Kapha mode. So it's best to wake up between 4 and 6. Deepak Chopra teaches this, and here's why: because you're in a power state, and you're about work, you're about your projects, you're about getting things done, you're about being on purpose. This is about waking up like a baby, brand new to the day, to your life. And then you can move into a very meditative, powerful, grounded in your body, making stuff happen kind of mode, right? So you've got steady energy. But if you wake up, and it's also meditative state. So if you wake up in this time, you're going to be sleepy. Your digestion is going to be sleepy. Your head's going to be sleepy. Your heart's going to be sleepy. You wake up in Vata, you're energized, you're awake, you can think about and project into your whole day. So really, really powerful, right? So this is, and think about when people work 9 to 5, right? And then it's happy hour Vata time, right? 5 o'clock, happy hour, go have some cocktails, right? Come home, have dinner, have your dinner between 1 and in the afternoon, between 12. This is your highest fire, is Pitta, right? So Pitta is 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay, so that's work. That's when you're working, right? So you work for a couple of hours, you get a lot of stuff done, and then it's lunchtime, 12 o'clock, everyone's having lunch. That's smart, right? That's when you want to have your biggest meal of the day, okay? You get your second wind if you don't fall asleep before 10. That's why I tell you to shut all your computer stuff off, get your Wi-Fi off, and go into your bed and read a book or chill out around 10, and try to get to sleep between 10 and 11, right? So you're falling asleep just at the end of Kapha, and if you don't sleep, it's going to activate your Pitta again. So I'm going to put this into the newsletter for you guys. This will change your life, because then you're going to deeply understand that different times of the day are best for you and different times of the day are not. So this is why you also don't want to eat after 6 p.m. because your body has no fire in it usually. That's why it's so bizarre when people have huge meals at night, right? 6, 7, my sister, always bringing her because she's a Pitta into play here, because I know her so well. They eat so late. And then they go and they watch TV till 10 p.m. and then they'll be hungry again and having pie. So see how we do things? So just this will change your life. This will change your life. So consider when you eat during the day. So think about your day. It's 9 o'clock. Hopefully you guys had a hot water and lemon this morning. Hopefully you had maybe your kefir and your fat, and then you had your coffee without sugar. Don't have sugar, because coffee, caffeine, protein, and alcohol are drivers. And so whatever you have in your coffee is going to get driven deeper into your body with that caffeine. So very interesting. So watch what you put in. So you put nice, you can put a bit of fat in there. That's why bulletproof coffees are fantastic. If you need to lose weight, if you're a kapha and you have a little extra weight on your gut, go ahead and make a bulletproof coffee. So bulletproof coffee using organic coffee, and then you're blending MCT oil and butter. I don't recommend doing ghee. It makes it very oily. And that you're going to blend up a tablespoon of butter, a tablespoon of MCT per cup, and just blend that up. And you got your fat and coffee. It makes it wonderful and frothy, and it's going to help to burn fat for the day. It's going to help to activate your brain, activate your metabolism, and you'll have so much energy from that. So that's a little tip you can do if you're looking to lose a bit of weight there. So this is powerful. I'll include that in the downloads. Yeah, so again, pitta, digestion is strongest. Have your lunch around here. And then 3 o'clock, remember we talked yesterday, that's liver time, right? So if you didn't have a good meal and if you didn't digest well around that time of the day, you're going to crave a bunch of stuff at 3 o'clock. It's going to be sugar or coffee or something for a quick energy because you didn't get what you needed at that time. So this is just going to help you to be very connected to your body, very connected to the time and the day, and help you live a more powerful life. So yeah, that's a lot for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So if you guys have any questions, we open up the last little bit of the class for any questions you have. So again, you're going to go and print that off. Go and find in the newsletter in your email, print off your rejuvenating diet list, things to buy, things to avoid, right? And you can see a little bit about your personality on there. Make sure you go and print off this when I send that out later today. Just a great thing to have around. And then keep on doing your meal planner. I like that you have that journal so you can do a food log. So you're like, you can look back and see, oh, okay, I had, I had like, what did I have the other day that upset my tummy? I can't even remember now, but I was like, oh, okay, I ate that and that didn't work for me. Just didn't work for me, right? It was like dried salmon, or it was like candied salmon or something. I was like, ouch, right? So it's smart to learn what works for your body. Yeah, so that's that. Do you guys have any questions? So remember the muscle testing, so give that a try. Learning how to deeply connect with your body. So get hydrated first. Drink lots of water. Make sure with water that you're getting filtered and pure water. You're filtering out the chlorine and not drinking tap water. So get a good filter. If you guys have any questions about that Syrah water filter that we were talking about bringing in, if you don't have a filter at home, you need to get that done and get that activated rapidly. Well, we got lots of questions here. Yeah, charging your water with the wand. So yeah, the other thing that we have in the company, again, on the product list is the terahertz high frequency quantum wand. Man, it's amazing. So it's heat and light and high frequency, and basically, like we were talking about Albert Einstein yesterday, he says that the medicine of the future is frequency. And Hippocrates said, if you can find a way to heat the bones, you can cure all diseases. So the future of medicine is now, right? You're getting this powerful, it's a blower that's going to put the heat and the terahertz into your bones, into your bone marrow. It's going to help to rejuvenate and create stem cells. So stem cells are the warriors in your body that are going to go into your system and go where your body needs help, right? It's like your own inner doctor. It's just fantastic. So we become self-healing machines, right? We're powerful. What do you do when you're pretty close as percentage to each dosha? So let's say, so that's perfect question. So if you're 50% VATA and 50% PITTA, we got someone coming in right now. So let's just say you're 50% PITTA, 50% VATA. Let's just say it's winter. Let's just say it's winter time. And you know that you need more oily, warming, comforting foods. So print off the VATA and the PITTA list and have those. I do that as well, right? Like, so have your VATA and your PITTA, if you're both, if you have VATA and kapha is very rare, but it does happen. Print them both off and look for a balance. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, 50% VATA, 30% pitta and kapha. Excellent. Print them all off. And take the ones that, you know, we're gonna, so if it's winter time and you're mostly VATA, then you're gonna predominantly move towards balancing that VATA out. And then in the summertime, if you're 30% pitta, a lot of times in the summertime, pittas suffer with overheating, too much heart fire, too much brain fire. So that can burn you out, right? So then you're going to do pitta things that are going to help to cool and calm the pitta down in your system. So I hope that makes sense. Print them all out so you have a better, so remember we're all, yeah, so VATA, pitta, kapha, exactly. So looking at pacifying that kapha first, and then also having the other ones printed off. So that's, I mean, okay, so kapha and then pitta, exactly. Yeah, kapha, right? You can easily gain weight, but you still have that sharp brain. You've got that good digestion, right? It's so cool. It's so cool to know. Yeah, so hope that answers your questions. But you can tell by your body really what you are. Like, it's very obvious that I'm like, you can just, you know, the bones are protruding, the veins are protruding, dry, thin, things like that, right? Very fast brain. So yeah, you can really, and it's neat because you can look at your family and your friends, and get them to try the test too. And another thing that's really important is if you have people in your life that you're cooking for them, and let's say they're a VATA and you're a kapha and you're making a bunch, or let's say you're pitta and you're making a bunch of salads and dried things and or cool things and stuff, and that VATA is, and you're the mom or the cook in the family, not going to be good for that VATA person. And if it's child, a lot of times they won't know. Like for me growing up with my mom, the things that she would make a lot of times did not support my digestive system. But there's the things that her mom and her family taught, you know, ancestrally we get it passed down, but doesn't necessarily mean they're good for your body. Like, I'm Polish and we had lots of pierogies and I was really constipated as a kid, right? So you think about that. Oh my God, the things we used to eat, a lot of red meat, a lot of hamburger. So you think about those things that you had when you were a child, lots of processed meats that were cold, and a lot of free, like pop. I have tons of pop. Oh my goodness. Freezing cold pop. We had a pop machine, chips. No wonder I was, you know, really, really constipated and so unhealthy for so many years of my life until Ayurveda came into my life, right? So yeah, if you guys don't have any questions, I'll leave you with that. I'll send this recording. You can always email me anytime at info@samantha.com if you have any questions. And if you wanted to do a one-on-one, we had a lot of people that sent in their health assessments. If you want to spend some time with me one-on-one, absolutely do that health assessment online. And yeah, what if you're doing the quiz, you were naturally thin as a kid, but then as a teenager adult, you became muscular. Well, that means you've been working out and building muscle. That's awesome. Perfect. That means you're becoming more balanced, I think, as a kapha pitta. Perfect. Yeah. So that's great. Awesome. And the thing that's actually a good point with muscle, because as you age, now that I'm 50 almost, lovely. Thank you, Sweet Pea. So glad. Thank you for joining, you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. So yeah, as you age, we lose muscle. So I go to the gym. I go twice a week. And I know that when I don't go, I can see my body. The older you get, the more you can see your body changing, right? So got to keep building muscle. Make sure you keep going to the gym. So this is what we're going to be doing in the next couple of days, doing some exercising for mind. So day 4 and 5, we're going to be going over those things to help to strengthen the body and the core more. So have a great day, you guys. Namaste. Thank you so much for showing up and wanting to build a more holistic life. All the best. Bye-bye.